is the news that we are waking up to for Tuesday, January the 14th, 2025, day 1056 of the full-scale invasion. I'm Peter Alexievich, and we know, look, everybody that follows this channel, that follows what's happening in Ukraine, knows very well that in these days running up to the inauguration of Donald Trump, Russia has just been pouring it on Ukraine. They've just been dumping men into the meat grinder like they're nothing. Equipment into the front line like they have reserves that will last forever, which they don't. And it's not just the Russians that are ramping things up, right? We see the Kursk incursion, the attempted counteroffensive there that was quickly crushed this past week. And last night, we believe what was the single biggest drone attack and missile attack against Russia happened. So last night in the live, if you were in the live last night, you know I had reported that Bryansk was currently under attack, that there was an attack going on in Bryansk and in Rostov. And somebody else mentioned Tula was under attack, right? Well, at least last night, Ukraine sent, we believe, at least 200 drones at Russia. At least 12 regions of Russia were hit. Now, the 6 biggest hit strikes that we are aware of right now is what we're going to talk about here. So first, what did the Russians send? The Russians sent 80 drones of the Shahed type. 58 of them were shot down. Another 21 were taken out with electronic warfare. That's 79 out of 80. 98.75 interception rate. I mean, when you think about the millions of dollars that an attack like this costs, and the Ukrainians shoot them all down every night, night after night, what is the point? It's insanity. Now, the Ukrainians, on the other hand, their shit got through, right? In at least 6 spots, we have information about hits. Now, let's take a look at some of this and what we know right now. The first is here at the Bryansk chemical plant. This was an ATACMS strike. So 6 ATACMS missiles hit the territory of the plant. Now, this plant is just about 120 kilometers, about 80 miles over the border from Ukraine. And it has just about doubled in size in the last 3 years. The Russians have been making serious investments here at this chemical plant. Now, what do we know about this plant? It produces solid fuel rocket components and gunpowder. The ATACMS were apparently a strike directly on the plant because a large fire is burning on the territory of the plant. And again, much of the plant, many of the buildings and components of this plant are brand new construction within just the last 3 years. So that's and now you notice there's a pattern here. Solid rocket fuel, right? We see this when the Ukrainians hit a manufacturing facility. I swear to God, 9 times out of 10, it's either a lubricants fuel facility or it's involved in the manufacture of weapons, particularly rockets and solid rocket fuel. And here's another one. This plant is going to be out of commission, I believe, based on the size of the fire and the intensity of it. Now, here's a video from Tula. Let me play this for you. And I'm playing it because it's pretty spectacular. Look, that looks like a Peklo to me. Right, the Peklos are the Ukrainian domestically produced hybrid cruise drone missiles. And we don't know what was hit there, but that video was so spectacular, I thought that I would share it with you. That was in Tula last night. Now this is a double tap on the Engels, the Crystal Combine Oil Depot at Engels Air Force Base. So remember, 3 of those jet fuel tanks were completely destroyed. That's 360,000 tons of jet fuel gone. The other 3 tanks, with another 360,000 tons of jet fuel in them, were badly damaged. Well, apparently badly damaged was not good enough for the Ukrainians, and last night they hit them again, and what was left in those other 3 tanks is now burning. And so that's at Engels in Saratov. Now, we have word, that's the Crystal Oil Depot at Engels. This is Engels. It is believed that the ammo depots at Engels Air Force Base were also hit last night. And what we're seeing here are those ammo depots cooking off. And you can hear the secondary explosions as very likely some kind of missile that would be attached to the base of a plane goes up. Finally, moving up 1,000 kilometers, 600 miles from Ukraine, the Organets plant in Kazan, Russia, was hit. Now, it wasn't, actually, I take that back. If you look here on the schematic, see these right here in the middle of the screen? These are LNG tanks, liquefied natural gas tanks. And so this plant depends on liquefied natural gas in order to produce polycarbonate, acetane, and high-strength plastics. 3 of these LNG tanks are burning, right? The hope, of course, is that that fire will spread to the other LNG tanks. It looks like they've got a total of 16 of them here. Without that LNG, this plant can't function. So what do? Ukraine targets the LNG. It's a good move. So last night, at this time, as we await the inauguration of Donald Trump, hang on. Sorry, I forgot. I've got 2 more things real quick. Down in outside of Saratov, right, where Engels Air Force Base is, this drone was knocked down. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, that sure looks like a Shahed, doesn't it? Now, I'm unaware of the Ukrainians making a Shahed clone like this. That does not mean that they aren't. They've captured lots of these drones. They could well be making a drone that looks like the Shahed. Or maybe this was a friendly fire incident, right? There's incoming drones. They accidentally shot down one of their outgoing drones. That would be more likely if this were in Rostov or Bryansk or Kursk. But it's in Saratov. And drones don't get launched at Ukraine from Saratov. So that seems, this would either be then a Shahed that was sent off course maybe by electronic warfare, returned to sender, and ended up over the middle of Russia, or it's a Ukrainian drone. And the fact is, we just don't know. And then finally here, these KZ-6 shaped demolition charges, right? A shaped charge is a charge that's manufactured to direct the energy of its explosion in a particular direction, right? That's a shaped charge. And now this was found down in Rostov, right? Does it say that here? Oh no, this was in the Saratov region. So this 5-kilogram bomblet was found in Saratov following the drone attack. Now here's the thing. Saratov is hundreds of kilometers from Ukraine. Small, lightweight FPV drones that would normally drop these kinds of munitions, they can't get to Saratov. So the question becomes, does Ukraine have some kind of heavy drone that also has these munitions? So does it have some kind of a drone that we don't know about that has little bomblets on it? It can identify a target, drop the bomblet, maybe drop all the bomblets, one of the bomblets, some of the bomblets, and then it goes on to impact in its one-way fashion its main target. And again, we don't know the answer to that. But in Saratov, they are saying that they found some of these bomblets. Okay, so that's about it for me this morning. One of the largest, if not the largest, drone attacks against Russia. It appears to have met with initial success in at least 6 regions of the 12 that were targeted. As more of this becomes available today, you can expect short videos on TikTok about new information that we're getting. But that's it for me, and I'll see you in the live tonight.